yeah, brother. You're on the Cleetus McFarland YouTube channel.
What's going on, guys? Today we are out here at MD Helicopters in Mesa, Arizona, where they actually build these helicopters right here in the USA, hand built. Every single one of them. You can see right here, they're getting built behind me. You guys have seen MD Helicopters on the channel this year. We're picking up jet boats.
Holy crap!
Picking up big block Chevys. Got the big block transport pulling up. We even dropped the mystery machine. I've kind of fallen in love with these things. Well, cool enough, MD Helicopters themselves reached out, invited me out to the factory, which we're standing in part of the factory right now, to do flight training. So all week, I'll be with some of my friends and their test pilots doing the most hardcore training you can do in a helicopter. So as a helicopter pilot, when you get into getting your license, they take you out for some emergency training. You learn it, you learn the basics, and that's how you get your license. What we're gonna be doing here at MD Helicopters in their aircraft is full down auto rotations, where they're literally gonna fail the engine in flight. We have to make a forced landing to the ground right here at the airport. This is as good as it gets. I mean, you get to go out, beat on their helicopter, learn a ton. We're seeing the factory. This place is amazing. Let's get to it. What the hell is going on out here, guys?
You tell me.
What are these things, dude? To be honest, I signed all my friends up to do some training. So we gotta go get into our classroom, but this is gonna be a great week, guys, and we're gonna show you a ton of really cool helicopter stuff. You eating in class, dude?
What do you got next?
Should be rotor head.
This is the start of a helicopter, right? Are we on square one right here?
Yes, you are.
So this is the center keel beam. Basically, the entire helicopter is built off of this piece. Starts coming to something here. Your backrest for the pilots right here. Pilot's sitting right there. This big old mast support structure is all one big piece here. The tail popping on right there. We got the mast already on this one. Rotor head. See the transmission right here? That just bolts in with 4 big bolts. No drive shaft yet in this one. I'll show you that on the next one, but pretty cool just walking down the line, seeing the differences in each one. All right, now we got tail boom is on. Got the big old T-wing, horizontal stabilizer, vertical stabilizer. I love these because they look like Top Fuel cars. I mean, they really do. If you look at Top Fuel car, I think they got the same design from MD. See, we got an engine on it. C30, I think this engine alone, brand new, about $1 million. See, they got the panel going in. Oh yeah, here's your drive shaft. So that goes from your $1 million engine to your transmission and up to your rotor head and your tail rotor. Basically one more station and these things are done. Then they go out and test fly them. And they do quite a few test flights. I didn't realize how much they'd be test flying what they call the green birds, but we've been here and we've seen the same helicopter go up and down while they refine everything, make sure it's good to go before it goes to a customer. It's a pretty small engine for 650 horsepower. Isn't that sweet?
Dude, it's, what is it, 2 horsepower per pound?
Yeah, it's over that. It's nuts. And it can do it for thousands of hours on end without maintenance.
2 horsepower per pound.
Insurance is gonna love us for this, Dave.
They really are. And that's kind of my whole goal in life, is
Yeah.
insurance happy. Or just become insurable.
We're gonna be insurable after this, guys. What I'm gonna show you today is how a helicopter can land with no engine. Everyone knows an airplane can glide in if it loses its engine. It's commonly thought that if a helicopter loses its engine, it just falls out of the sky. However, a helicopter can actually glide as well and land safely with 0 engine power, and here's how. Thing called auto rotation. In a helicopter, the engine is there to drive these blades, right? The blades create lift, the helicopter can fly. What you probably didn't know is once a helicopter is ready to fly, those blades then spin at the same speed the entire flight. All you do is add pitch to the blades with the collective lever. See those blades? There you go. There's a bunch of pitch. There's none. There's a bunch. There's none. That's all controlled by this collective lever. The more you pull, the more you pitch, the more lift the helicopter makes. Think of it like your ceiling fan, right? If the blades were flat, it wouldn't blow any air. But as you add pitch to those blades, it starts to blow air downward, making the helicopter go up. Trying to make this a quick and dirty explanation. That being said, if your blades are pitched, they're much harder to spin. The engine has to work harder to keep the blades spinning at the same speed the whole flight. Now, if the engine then fails and the blades have a bunch of pitch in them, the big spinning thing on top of the helicopter is gonna start slowing down. If that thing slows down, then you fall out of the sky and it's not good. However, helicopters have a built-in thing for a phenomenon called auto rotation, which if you react fast enough as a pilot, you can take the pitch out of those blades so far that they even go just slightly negative, and the air then flowing through the blades as you descend keeps the blades spun up. You can actually speed the blades up extremely fast in an auto-rotative descent. You can spin them up so fast you can seriously damage a helicopter. Now, if I were to take my hand, grab that blade, and fling it forward, it'd probably spin the rotor maybe 3 laps because there's a lot of weight in that rotor system. So when you're auto-rotating, which is the blades almost at 0 pitch, you're at about a 4-to-1 glide ratio. So you're going 4 feet forward for every 1 foot down. Then as you approach the ground in this glide, which is pretty aggressive, it's kind of like a roller coaster, but it's not a crazy descent. As you approach the ground, you kind of flare just like an airplane. And then it's like you have a few seconds of engine power because there's so much inertia stored in those blades. So as you pull up and add pitch back to the blades, you have a few seconds before that rotor system slows down and then you fall to the ground. Now, when you become a helicopter pilot, you train on how to do an auto rotation, but oftentimes they don't do it nearly as extreme as what we're going to be doing today. Today, we're going to be flying up to 500 feet or so, cutting the engine to idle and letting the rotor free spin and doing a full auto rotation from the sky to the ground, exactly how it'd be in an engine failure situation. Now you're probably wondering, well, if the engine locks up, won't it lock up those blades and can fall out of the sky anyway? There's what's called a freewheeling unit on all helicopters. So this is a freewheeling unit, essentially like if you're pedaling a bicycle, right? As a kid, you pedal forward, you drive the wheel forward, but if you let off, your back wheel will just coast. So same thing with this. While the engine's driving it, right, it's turning the rotors. But if the engine immediately fails, the rotors can just continue to freewheel. If the engine immediately locks up, the freewheeling unit automatically disconnects the engine from the rotor system, and the rotor system is allowed to keep spinning at full speed the whole flight. Now you can lose an engine in all different phases of flight. Today we're going to lose our engine in a hover. We're also going to practice losing our tail rotor, which keeps our nose straight. We're going to practice losing our engine way up in the sky, close to the ground, and all kinds of other emergency procedures here at MD Helicopters. Hopefully my explanation makes a little bit of sense. Let's go flying. Okay, throughout these videos, I want you guys to watch this gauge a little bit. This is the rotor speed gauge. This gauge is telling you the rotor speed based on percent. Around 100% is where you want to be to safely fly. Technically, that little arm with the R on it can be anywhere in the green on the left side of this gauge, and the rotor system will work in auto rotation. And you're going to watch while we're auto rotating, the arrow is going to be in the green range. And when we get to the bottom of the auto rotation and we pull a bunch of pitch into the blades, you'll see that arm on that little gauge drop really fast down to about 60%, which is where the engine idles. You only get a couple of seconds before that inertia in the rotor system is gone, and you'll see that gauge just drop like a frickin' cinder block. Fire and hold.
Here we go.
Best sound in the world.
Starters off.
There you go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to demonstrate a engine failure in a hover. Hovering auto rotation as it's commonly known. And I'll count it down here real quick. And you just ride along with me on the first one. All right, so eyes are outside. Hover auto rotation. 3, 2, 1. Throttle pedal. Settle. Settle.
Final from it.
Right there. All right, that's all it's going to take, man.
Rotor speed.
Rotor speed, right? So next one's going to be you.
Yep.
I'll call it. Roll it. You just be ready for it. All right?
All right.
Roll her on up. We'll hover on rotation. 3, 2, 1. There's your throttle. Settle. Settle. Pull. All right. Yeah, you can wait just a little bit longer.
All right.
That nosing it forward isn't bad.
Yeah.
Just kind of scooting it on the ground. That's not an uncommon thing. And when we get into the tail rotor failure in the hover, you're going to kind of push the nose down anyway, just to kind of glide it around.
So you got about 2 seconds of rotor speed.
You got in a hovering auto rotation, you get about 2 seconds. Now from 12 feet, that's the high hover point. That's what's been demonstrated by a test pilot, waiting 2 seconds to initiate, that they didn't really damage the aircraft.
No.
Right? So it's survivable from 12 feet. Really, if you do nothing, the gear's going to collapse. You should be fine. But
yeah, you're just going to break the gear.
But let's back up here real quick. What we're going to do now, we're just going to hold it in a hover, right? So just stay on here with me.
Yep.
I'm going to be that idiot pilot that's out in the trees, and I'm not paying attention. And I go ahead and I do a left pedal turn, right?
Yep.
And at some point during this turn, I whack a tree. Here we go.
124.6.
So what am I going to do?
We're going to cut the throttle.
Yeah, so I'm going to get around here.
Oh, no tail rotor there. Yeah, it's going to be more violent than that.
It's going to be a lot more violent, right? So,
But still, you got to cut that throttle.
you've got to get that throttle. I just want you to get that feeling as we come around a couple times.
Torque out of the system.
Whenever you're ready, start your left pedal.
4 left, clear for takeoff, flight straight at 8923 Juliet.
Oh, that felt good.
Nice.
That was good, man. I'll come on here for the first one. Alright, so Tim's pressures are all green, no cautions, no warnings.
Looking for traffic, 4-0 X-ray.
Alright, I'm with you now.
Alright, so I've got the control, just ride along. Alright, so we talked about it yesterday, getting that nose up, right? Alright, so nice and stable here, about 70 knots. Eyes are outside, entering on rotation now. Throttle's coming off, collective's going down, nose is coming up. Woohoo! Collective's coming up to catch that RPM. We're just going to hold this 60 knot airspeed right here. We only got about 1,500 foot a minute here coming in. Alright, I'm going to start a flare now. Flare, flare, flare. A level. A little fast because we don't have much wind.
Oh, that was sick.
I was a little fast, but I didn't get much out of the flare. Not a whole lot of wind, but a nice set down.
Dude, you nailed it. I mean, that was really sick. Oh, L39. That's...
So let's get that disc up here. We talked about that yesterday in class. But yeah.
Good job.
Let's do another one. You got it.
Alright, I'm ready.
I'll stay with you the whole time.
I know I'm going to want to pull early, but I was just feeling how long you waited to pull.
I pulled a little bit early myself.
Wow, so
I'll critique it. I'll critique myself. I pulled a little bit early on that one. But I didn't, there wasn't much wind to get rid of that energy in the flare.
Yeah.
Put that airspeed up. Engine failure, 3, 2, 1. There you go. Trap that RPM, push the nose down. You're getting slow. Nose forward, up on the collective. Right there. Don't pump it. You're getting on the RPM. Your RPM's great. Flare. Flare. Level. Slow pull, slow pull.
That's going to be spot on right 4 left, clear touching in.
Alright.
Yeah, that one we needed to get in. You got that airspeed. You kept the nose up.
I got the airspeed a little low.
Got the airspeed just a little, and it was fine. We got it back.
Yeah.
But our target right now, just to make it work, and so that you get the practice, is that 60 knot.
Alright. I was staring at the rotor speed.
Alright, yeah. I appreciate the honesty. The RPM was great.
I know. I don't know why I was looking at it.
Engine failure, 3, 2, 1. Down. Keep that nose up. Now up on the collective. Nose down just a little bit to trap that airspeed. RPM's great. Airspeed's good. Nice and smooth, right?
Yep.
Now we're going to start our flare. Get into it harder, harder, harder. Now we're going to level.
So switch now, slow left clear touching in.
There it is.
Now we're talking.
There it is. Just for because we're going to start a turn, so our airspeed is going to be inaccurate, and we don't want to go super long, so start your turn now.
Where's your flex? Are you going over Chandler? Or
Alright, so we're going to enter auto rotation. 3, 2, 1, boom. That nose up, RPM's coming up, airspeed's coming down.
Where's 70 Pump Fox? Are you going
I'll
towards
trap
Chandler?
it right there. Roll out of the turn. There you go. Airspeed, RPM, everything's looking good.
All of them, right turn approved.
A little fast. So start your flare up here. A little bit more flare. Be assertive with it. Check the RPM just a little bit. Slow pull. Level it. Little high. So you can see how much extra effort you put into that.
Yeah.
Nose forward just a little bit, get her level. You're getting a little slow. Start your flare.
Woohoo! Dude, I feel so good about those now.
It's all you, dude.
Dude, I can do that 100 more times.
So I'm going to just demonstrate real quick an engine failure on takeoff since we have 5 more minutes here.
Cool. You want me to back up?
Yeah, we'll go all the way back there. 5 to 8 foot skid height on a normal takeoff.
Alright. Made 4 left, clear touch to go.
Lights are green.
I'm with you. Clear touch to go.
Lights are out, gauges are green. Plenty of fuel. I'm going to start taking off. 32 knots, I'm going to rotate.
Engine's out.
Foxtrot 1376 going around.
That was a little high.
A little high.
76,
It's all
roger.
good though.
There it is.
That was sporty.
Alex Ridge 39 and 66, Falcatero, made 4 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff 4 right, Oxford 3966.
Alright.
Alright, so whenever you're ready.
Alright.
Next 1296 Falc. Tower, cross runway 4 left, hold short runway 4 right on Alpha.
Cross 4 left, hold short of 4 right on Alpha, Oxford 1296.
Level.
Oxford 9610, Falcon Tower, runway 4 right, clear for takeoff.
Butter!
You did way better than me.
The butter is...
I'm going to have you teach the class, bro.
The butter. Best power loss on takeoff there.
Power off on takeoff. So you can see how...
It doesn't yaw as hard as I thought it would.
No, it doesn't. You were at, what, 50 knots when we did it, I think, is where I cut it?
4 right, Alpha 35.
The biggest thing, as soon as that happens, and you didn't hear it get quiet,
4
right?
Lima Alpha, go
Yeah.
on.
You really didn't hear it get quiet.
No, it didn't droop.
Just so you can get a good flyby of it, we're going to park right on top of that girl out your door right now.
Alright, I
Right there. You got it?
Yeah.
It's all you.
Southbound northeast.
So be careful as you lower. It's going to feel like you're rocking back.
Yeah.
So just be nice and gentle with it. Woo!
Alright, you ready?
Yeah, ready when you are.
That was a good spot, dude. That was sweet. Man, this terrain is incredible.
Yeah, it's a great training
Makes the
area.
experience that much better.
It's a great training area.
About right here in this corner.
Should work.
Oh yeah, brother, we're in it now.
You're all good so far on my side.
Eastbound, go.
There you go.
Right there, Oxford 6514 is over the
I gotta get out and take a video of us sitting right here.
All right.
I had to jump out and get a video. We are like down in this massive valley right now, doing some challenging steep approach landing. Woohoo! This is so much fun, man. Holy crap. Look at that unit. She's just chilling. All right, how'd it look?
Buttery,
It's
man.
pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, you set the bar pretty high.
It feels a little more violent in the helicopter. So, you know, like when you hit, it probably looks kind of smooth from the outside because it's such a big machine. It's kind of absorbing it. But when you're in there, you're like, you know, you're kind of rocking down the taxiway. So we did a lot.
You did like 10, and I'm excited to see the helmet cam.
Oh, dude, it's really fun. And the other helicopters I've flown, it's not as easy as this one to keep the rotor speed kind of like where it needs to be. This one, you kind of just set the collective down, and it just has such a wide range of where the rotor speed can be. You're kind of chilling, and then you just drive it down, hit that flare, and then you just wait until you're getting close to the ground, start pulling in collective, and this thing has way more inertia than I thought it would. I mean, I've flown helicopters that I thought had a lot. One of them actually went down. I was getting ready to land, and you would think, like, okay, the rotors drooped down to 70% of the normal speed. And I kept pulling, and then we went back up like 2 feet.
70%?
Yeah, and then we went back up like 2 feet, and then set down.
There's a lot of energy stored in those blades.
Dude, there is. Even when it's at 65%, like idle speed, and you then lower the collective, you feel the helicopter drop. So, I mean, it's moving air even at those slow speeds. The engine's at idle, it's not making any torque. You know, you're just riding off what's in the weight of the blades, you know, and hoping they can keep you flying for just a little bit longer, and it does. So absolute blast. Besides building them, they have a ton of stuff going on at MD, a bunch of aircraft that are in for maintenance, upgrades, things like that. And this is 100% gotta be my favorite room. We've got some brand new helicopters that are gonna be going out to customers soon, MD customers. I'm just drooling over these things. That dark gray one down there, dude, absolute unit. I mean, these things are brand new. Can't imagine what it'd be like to own a brand spanking new helicopter. They are perfect. And like I said, handcrafted here in the USA, dude. It's some Freedomatic helicopter. All right, guys, looks like we graduated because they gave us caps and gowns. We're about to get our diplomas. Roman's was kind of we had to pull some strings, but it looks like he's getting one too.
Thanks. Why does Dave really appreciate that? He's got enough our grades on it.
Roman, come on!
I didn't know you win it. Nervous.
Big day, big day.
Hooray! You did it!
Thank you.
Mr. Cleetus McFarland.
Cleetus! Yeah, Cleetus!
Appreciate you.
You did it!
Thank you.
Really earned it.
Appreciate you. Here you go. All right, guys. We had a blast here at MD Helicopters all week. We got our training done. We all passed, even Heavy D.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's my only academic achievement ever.
Yeah. We're feeling really good about it. We had a blast. And huge thanks to MD Helicopters for doing this. I don't know for sure, but I don't think I've ever seen a helicopter company and some influencers do like a partnership and do something like this. So that was really cool to work with these guys and hopefully start a good relationship with them. And hope to get an MD soon. But now I'm all trained up, ready to rip. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. Do it for Dale Frickin'. See you later.